Okay, the presentation that I have this morning is on technical fundamentals. I'd like to start out first by giving a few words of encouragement here as we change yourself, and then you'll understand what little chance you're going to have of changing others. Well, the thing that we need to do then is first how do we go about bringing together or coming to an understanding that we have to improve our technical skills? Well, first thing we need to do is to take and have an internal assessment. I think recently during our sales meeting, very clearly pointed to the fact that we need to do something to improve those skills. The test that we had out there showed that there was very few people in sales who took the exam and had passing scores. Why? I think the next point to bring out is why is it important? I think very basically it's important because we have to be able to place our product correctly 100% of the time. If we don't understand the technical situation that we're in, then we're not going to be able to place our product correctly 100% of the time. If you take a look at our competition, people like Union Carbide, like Roman Haas, people like S.P. Johnson, they have a very well-trained technical force. They can place their product correctly 100% of the time, 98% of the time, but very frequently. Well, what must we do? Basically, we have to improve. And what we have to do is to identify the requirements that it's going to take to make that improvement. And what are they? I think first we have to do is teach the fundamentals. Fundamentals is things such as markets in the industry, chemistry, the paint formulation, the application technique, and then finally, and not lastly, the product. We have to have an understanding of what the product can do and how they can be improved upon and placed at those accounts correctly 100% of the time. Well, how do we accomplish this? If you go back to the words up over here by Jacob Broad, consider how hard it is to change yourself, and you can have an understanding of how difficult it's going to be to change other people. I think there's four things that we need to do and focus on. First of all, it has to be continuous training. We can't start something, stop, and then start again. A tool that we can use is work with, and I call these sales work with. That's where a technical person, a marketing person, someone who knows very well the product will go out in the field and work with the salesperson, help that individual perhaps develop their sales pitch, and that person will learn as a result of that. The other thing that we can do is sales aid. In the marketing department, we can provide the sales force with the sales aid that it's going to take to do a good job out there. But finally, what it's going to take is a commitment by the sales force, by the individual, to do the job, to do the studying, and be committed to developing their technical skills. Thank you. I'll try to do this thing right. Okay, whenever you're ready. Sure. No? The topic of the last discussion I have today is a subject I think we've all heard the term, and that is burnout. What I wanted to do, first of all, is just very quickly share with you some words that the author is unknown. Learn from the mistakes of others, because you can never live long enough to make all the mistakes yourself. And I think it's very appropriate for the discussion I'm going to have at this point to keep those words in the back of your mind. So, we've all heard the term burnout, a term we're all familiar with. fact, we probably wondered ourselves whether or not we're at the point of burnout. Have you ever found yourself wondering, am I burning out? If you found yourself at that point of wondering, am I burning out, then you're probably experiencing some form of burnout. Well, I thought about it. I said, well, how can I put this down into a few words? Give a very crude, rudimentary type of definition of burnout.
Would you lower that thing right there, please? Thanks.
I came up with the following. It's the inability to focus and stay energized on the job. Think about it. The inability to focus and stay energized. Well, why is that bad? Why is it bad not to be able to focus on the job and stay energized in the job? Well, there's 3 reasons why it's bad. Because it's going to affect you in 3 ways. It's going to affect you in your personal life, it's going to affect you in your family life, and it's going to affect you in your company life. Those are 3 facets of our makeup as individuals. We have our personal, we have our family, most of us at least, and we have the company. Let's take a look at the personal side of it. How would burnout affect me on my personal side? I think most importantly, it can affect you because burnout or stress, the buildup of stress, it can kill you. I mean, we want to have longevity here. We don't want to find ourselves the victim of a stress-related accident, which would be maybe a heart attack or some type of nervous breakdown or something like that. So we have to find some way to cope with it, be able to live with stress and not have it pent up and stay inside of us, so that we bear the results of it all coming together and we end up with a heart attack or some other type of manifestation. The next one is family. How does it affect our family? Well, it's pretty much, I think, an offshoot of the same things that it does with personal finance. You're at the job, you don't find yourself focusing, you're getting tired because you're doing all this work and you're not getting anything done. You take that home to your family now. You haven't got time for your kids. You go home, your wife can't do anything right for you anymore because you brought it home with you. You haven't been able to leave your work at the proper place it should be left, which is at the work site. You bring it home with you and you take it out of your family. Bad. How does it affect you in the company life? Well, if you can't get it together on the job and find some way to bring all your energies together and focus them and stay focused on that task of doing your job, you're not going to be very productive for the company. And then you've lost your value to the company. So there's 3 reasons why it's bad. The personal side of it, the family side of it, and the company side of it. Well, what can you do? I think what you have to do is find a release for your stress. And how can you do that? You can do it by 2 basic ways. You can find new experiences to find some way to release the stress that is building up over the course of the day. Or you can also, if you can't do it by yourself individually, you can look for some type of professional help to help you cope with stress. So the main thing, again, just to go over, is to find a release for the stress. Either try to seek it on your own through some new type of experience, some way to get rid of the stress that's building up over the day, or to seek professional help. What did I do? I asked myself that same question. Did I find myself wondering, am I the victim of burnout? And I think in the type of person that I am, I ended up answering that question in the positive. Yes, I was the victim of burnout. How did I cope with that? I coped with it by running. Now, there's only one person in this room who has known me for any length of time, and that's Ron Bennell. Ron's known me for about 3 years now. 3 years ago, or 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, I weighed about 60 pounds heavier than what I do right now. And I think, again, that was the buildup of stress, not being able to handle stress. The job was building up, and I could not handle the pressure anymore. What do you do? One of the symptoms you do is overeat. I couldn't handle it. I'd go home, and I'd chow down real fast on dinner, and I'd end up, you ever find yourself, when you have kids, they don't eat everything, put it on Dad's plate. I'll take care of it. You know, don't want to waste that food. You got people dying all over the world. We're not going to put it on Dad's, okay? It's a way of stress. It came home, and I didn't calm down at that point. I brought it home with me, and that was the culmination of that. I took up running. I had to find some way to cope with it. I started running on April 12, 1988. About 11:30. Now think about that. I know the date. I almost know the time that happened. Now for all of you who are 36 and over, you probably know the exact point that you were at the day John F. Kennedy was shot. Anybody who's over 36, do you remember the date? Where you were? I was the tall boy in the 7th grade on a corner of a school crossing when I heard that John F. Kennedy was shot. You guys, those who know and who experience that, you can come along with me and say that, yeah, I know right where I was at. You bet. That's the effect that running had on me. I know exactly when I started it, and I got committed to it. It had such an impact on my life. Why do I do it? How did it help me? Well, running, what I do is I run at noontime. Very often. Whenever I can, I want to run at noontime. Now, there's going to be some times when you can't run at noontime because you'll have a customer in, or you'll have some type of meeting that'll run over, and those are the times that you need to make allowances and make adjustments, and you try to maybe put off a little bit earlier in the day, or like today, I ran before I came here. But the reason that I run during noontime is it allows me the opportunity to go out and refocus myself, as well as providing me an avenue to burn off, get my metabolism going up, and just to take all the stress that may have built up over the course of the morning and get rid of it. And it charges me up for the afternoon. Does anybody find themselves getting tired in the afternoon? You know, you're sitting at the desk, writing out a memo, saying, right, and all of a sudden, it's happened to me. I bet it's happened to quite a few people over here. You just kind of you're experiencing some of the symptoms of stress. Okay, and stress is all around. It's prevalent. We all experience it. We all have to learn and find our own ways to cope with it. So I go out at noontime. I try to run and get myself refocused and re-energized for the afternoon. So what should you do? The answer. I can't give you the answer, but you have to evaluate your own situation, determine what type of outlets that you need to seek in order to cope with stress. The main thing you can do, though, is to find some avenue to recognize the symptoms of stress and find some avenue for you to get rid of that stress and sense that stress. Running has been a way for me to cope with my stress. I've been successful at it. I feel better. I feel much more in tune to my job, the things that I have to set out for me. I find that the 3 areas that I mentioned earlier, the personal, the family, and the company or professional life, have all improved along with my improvement and my ability to handle stress. My suggestion and hope is that all of you will think about it at some point, come to the same conclusion,